In this video, we talk about Amazon PPC strategies during the Prime Day. Prime Day is a very special day for Amazon seller where you get lots of traffic, lots of clicks and conversions. So there are a few things which is very important to keep in mind while organizing and planning your PPC campaigns during this day. And our guest today is Tarik from M19, which is a software for automating and optimizing Amazon PPC campaigns. Check the link below to M19 if you want to see what they do exactly. And this video is hosted by LISETT LEES. She works with different Amazon brands and also hosts Orange Click videos. And as always, if you find this video useful, don't forget to click the like button below and subscribe to our channel.
Hi Tarik, it's great to have you here today. So could you please introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the Amazon space?
Hello, LISETT. So I am co-founder of M19. M19 is a software that is optimizing advertising on Amazon, handling all the formats, sponsored product, sponsored brand, and sponsored display. So it is 100% backed by AI and machine learning algorithms to make it optimized, smooth, and also with an interface that is easy to use. Myself, I have an engineering background, so I used to work in a very famous French Adtech company where I used to develop algorithms. And this is why I started M19 with my other co-founders, because we had this knowledge that we developed for years on AdWords, and we did want to put it in place for Amazon. So in M19, I'm the data guy, and the machine learning guy. So I'm in charge of making these algorithms evolve, make it more robust and powerful. And this is why I will be here sharing some insights about how Prime Days will be handled.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, based on your intro, I would say you're the right guy to sit here today with me to discuss all things related to Prime Day and especially about PPC during the Prime Day. So what will we cover today?
Now, let me share my screen to go through our agenda and what I will be presenting today. So I will go through 3 parts. The first one is why do Prime Day requires preparation? So why it's important to prepare for this special day. Then how previous special dates can help prepare the next one, like previous Prime Days or Black Fridays or whatever. These special dates, how can we learn from them? And if there is something to learn and to reuse on the next Prime Day. And the last topic will be how to adjust PPC for Prime Day, what to do with our PPC, concretely speaking, for this special day where special things happen. So why do Prime Day requires preparation? To really understand what's happening, I will need to explain very briefly and quickly this mechanism, the fact that everything on Amazon is a second price auction. So it's a bidding system. So when Amazon is deciding which product to show on a given search term, there are auctions that are happening behind the scene where a lot of advertisers, sellers, or brand are participating in this auction, and they're saying, hey, I'm willing to pay X, the other one is willing to pay Y, etc., etc. So it's based on this mechanism. It's a second price auction where, for example, here we see 3 people bidding in this, participating on this auction. And they are bidding different prices, $4, 4.5, and 4.2. So these 3 people. The winner is the bidder B, because it's the guy that is willing to pay the highest price, and he ends up paying the second highest price. So he won't be paying 4.5, but he will be paying 4.20 or 21, depending on the exact system. But the idea is the one that is willing to pay the highest will win, and he will pay the price of the second one. Then the second thing to take into consideration to understand why this day is complex, technically speaking, is the fact that sponsored rank, I'm focusing here on sponsored rank, not on organic rank. because I want to show you why some things need to be changed this day, this special day. The sponsored rank is a function, like mathematically speaking, it's a function or a formula of 3 different things. We don't know how these 3 different things are computed and how they are combined to come up with the sponsored rank, but we know that it's a combination of these 3 things at least. The first one is the PPC bid. So this number, the PPC that you choose in your campaigns, is the first element. So the PPC bid. The second one is the estimated conversion rate. Conversion rate is just the number of orders over the number of clicks. So what is the average orders you get on a specific product on a specific search term over all the clicks that this specific product and specific search term got. So Amazon is making an estimation of this conversion rate. And the third input is the product price, like how much you are selling this on your specific product. So a combination of at least these 3 is used by Amazon to find the sponsored rank. Why it is tricky? It's because these things are changing during this period. The first one is the PPC bid. This should be changed because the cost per click is what you end up paying, and the bid is what you are willing to pay. Because competition is changing the dynamic and they are willing to pay usually higher during this special day, the cost that we end up paying for a single click is changing during this period. And we can break it down in four periods. Before Prime Day period, like before the couple of days before Prime Day. So let's say 3 to 4 weeks before the real Prime Day. Then the second period is 2 weeks just before Prime Day. Then you have Prime Day, then after Prime Day. So the cost per click when before all this Prime Day period, let's say if it's around $1.5, a couple of days before Prime Day, we notice that this cost per click drops. It's just an example here. In this example, the average cost per click is $1.2 because people are spending less and are less aggressive on PPC just before Prime Day because they saw, empirically speaking, that people are converting less, so they don't want to spend a lot during this period where people are waiting to buy during Prime Day. So 2 weeks before Prime Day, CPCs are down compared to the average normal. Then during Prime Day, the specific day, the CPC will go very high. So it's higher than even the normal of 1.5. So let's say it's 1.8. And after it goes back to normal, that is around 1.5. So the first input that is the PPC bid is impacted by the competition. And we can see that through the change of CPC over this period. The second thing that is changing is the conversion rate. So when there is a change in user behaviors, Amazon needs to capture it. So their estimation of conversion rate needs to capture that, and usually they do because they know it's a special period and they have the features that will help them capture this change of behavior and translate it into the right estimation of conversion rate. So customer behaviors, we see it also changing. Before Prime Day, let's say we have a conversion rate of 15%. Just before Prime Day, it drops also. People are just clicking and not buying. So the average conversion rate will drop, let's say, to 10%. During Prime Day, conversion rate will go very high because people are reducing price. People are waiting for Prime Day to buy because there are deals. So it can go up to 25%. And then after Prime Day, it comes back to 15%. So the behavior also is changing. So the first one is competition is changing. Cost per click is changing. Then user behaviors are changing. So the conversion rate is changing. And the last thing is the product price itself can change because of the deals. So you have the choice if you want. You can change the price. You can propose and have a Prime Day offer. I'm not sure how everyone can do that. Like every seller can do that, but at least there are some that can do that. So the three main components of the sponsored rank are changing, and you saw it. So, and this is what is making it very tricky to adjust the PPC in the right way in order to maximize profit and take most of advantage from this period. So yes, I explained kind of technically speaking why this period can be complex, but what matters for everyone is profit. And since during this period there can be a change in PPC, and there can be a change in product price with deals. So these two things have a massive and can have a massive impact on your profit. So when you are changing PPC and at the same time you are changing your price, this can hurt or serve your profit. So this is why this day needs preparation, or at least to understand what the dynamics are happening there. A lot of people have experience with Prime Days, Black Friday, etc., and they have already data and they already experimented things. The very common question that is always coming is, how can we leverage all what we saw in the past? So in my opinion, there are things that can be reused and others that cannot, because the dynamics of the market of competition is changing so much that there are things that you cannot reuse. The things that can be reused, in my opinion, is the estimate of sales increase to expect on a given category for some specific product. So you saw what happened in the past. So you saw how much your sales increased or dropped. So you can have an idea to better plan your inventory or whatever things you need to be planning regarding your sales velocity. Second thing is you can better estimate your PPC budgets, because during previous events, you saw how much was the increase or decrease depending on either you participate in this event or not, you go all in, or you just stop and go out in terms of PPC. So when you participated, you knew that you had to increase by X your budget, and you saw if it was enough or not, if you did run out of budget or not. Again, it's an estimate. It's not accurate 100%. And yes, I told you that dynamics are changing, and they are, but it's at least at a starting point on your specific category and on your specific product. So yeah, take it into account. It can help give you an idea about how to plan the inventory and how much budget you need to put there just to cap your different campaigns. But in terms of PPC intensity, biddings, ACOS to expect, in my opinion, it's almost, you cannot reuse this data because there are so many things changing that this so granular data won't be useful for the next Prime Day event. Now, I will go through how to handle it, what things need to be changed on your PPC strategy step by step. So first, something needs to be done not for Prime Day, but even before Prime Day, like the 2 weeks prior or 3 weeks prior to Prime Day, because this period is a low intent period compared to the average. Of course, it's not the case for all the category. So if you are, I don't know, if you are selling pets, food, or whatever, these type of products are less seasonal and are less impacted by Prime Day compared to if you are selling electronics or games or expensive products or whatever. For these products, people that buy it once, I don't know, a life or a year or whatever, they can change and plan to do it on a specific day compared to something they are buying all the time. So prior to Prime Day, think of decreasing your bids or ACOS target, depends on if you do it manually or with the tool, by at least 25%. So go on Seller Central or on your preferred favorite tool, increase everything by at least 25%, the 2-3 weeks prior to Prime Day. Then you will need to go back and adjust, not during Prime Day, not the day after, but 2 days after Prime Day, you need to go back and adjust the bids or ACOS targets up, because you need to prepare for Prime Day in terms of bidding high. If you, of course, if you opt in, if you want to go and compete with competitors, because there are two options here. I'm describing how to adjust the PPC strategy if you want to play the game and you want to go compete for Prime Day sales. If you don't want, you can just leave your PPC reduced, like what you did for the 2 weeks prior to Prime Day, or even stop it if you want. Like, it depends if you want to play, if you are in. So if you are in, make the changes 2 days before. Why it is important to do that? It's mainly because you need to see and to calibrate again your bids to make sure that you are bidding high enough, because we don't know how much exactly we need to increase and how much we need to be bidding during Prime Day. So this is why we leave this one day before Prime Day, just to check when you increase again how much traffic you are getting. It's not precise, but it gives you an idea and it can prepare for Prime Day. And it can also be an opportunity to increase again if it is not enough, because usually people, they also do the same thing. They don't wait for Prime Day to change. They make the change just before. So you can use this period to test prior to Prime Day what's the right level of bidding. And just from what I saw, it's at least a 50% increase in terms of ACOS target or in terms of bid. When you make an increase of 50% of ACOS target, it doesn't mean that you will have an ACOS that is higher by 50%, but you just want to make this increase so as it will be reflected in your bidding with very aggressive CPCs up. Then you need, when you did adjust your bidding during minus day, like 2 days prior, then 1 day prior when you make the check, you need also to increase the budget caps. Of course, you are always having your safety budget caps per campaigns or portfolio account. This thing also needs to be increased. Don't uncap it because you never know how it will go. Keep a cap, but increase it by at least 100% compared to the your normal, your average caps. I saw on some accounts spend multiplied by 5, 10, even 20 times 20, and the ACOS is still good. So this is why I'm saying by at least 100%. You know better your category, your products, to try to feel by how much you need to increase. And of course, don't increase it and leave it and forget about it. During Prime Day, give it a look and see if how it goes, if sales are coming, if you are running out of budget. Make the adjustment needed when it makes sense. And then, just after Prime Day, like at the end of Prime Day, decrease the budgets, the budget caps, and the bids to back to normal. And last thing, not least, which is very important, either for agencies, tools like us, or even people managing manually, is it's important to ignore data from Prime Day because it can artificially, it depends if it went very well or very bad, it can artificially impacts your number, and it can be misleading if you include this data on your analysis. For example, if you are looking at your, I don't know, ACOS over a campaign or multiple campaigns for a specific product, and you don't exclude Prime Day period, because Prime Day will be representing, I don't know, 50% of spend with a very good ACOS, it will seem like your ACOS is low on this product. But in fact, just after Prime Day, ACOS can be very bad and something need to be changed. And because you were not excluding this Prime Day period with the very good numbers, you won't see that and you won't make the needed adjustment. So always keep in mind that these special days and periods needs to be excluded from your data to be able to make the right decision when you are looking at your past data. So thank you, and I'm sure, LISETT, you have tons of questions. As usual.
Yeah, as usual. But actually, your slides covered a lot of questions I had in my mind before we started the interview. So you already talked about when to adjust the existing campaigns, how to work without the budget. But I still have a couple of questions. So first question, based on your experience, are there any product categories that usually are not affected by Prime Day? Because I'm sure a lot of new sellers who haven't participated in the Prime Day, and perhaps they don't sell as exciting product as some of the products are, and they're wondering if Prime Day would work for their product as well.
Yeah, so I was usually surprised by products that I was expecting not to have an increase in sales during Prime Day, than the opposite. So even some things that I was saying, okay, maybe people won't go and try to buy it, wait for Prime Day to buy them, but it happens. And I don't think that it happens because people were planning to wait for Prime Day to buy these things, but just because they are planning to buy some specific thing and they end up buying other things that they didn't plan to buy. So even my dog pet food example, maybe on some countries or for some brands, it might not be relevant. But my point is, like, very mainstream consumer goods that you are buying all the time, I think from what I saw are a bit less impacted by the Prime Day effect than like toys, toothbrush, household, sports categories. But overall, almost all the categories get this Prime Day bump, but the bump is way higher on products that are first expensive. So it makes more sense to wait to have a discount on an expensive product, and also products that you don't buy very often. So usually these products have a great bump during Prime Day.
Okay, very good. So I'm wondering, based on your experience and what you have heard from the industry, what are the main things sellers usually go wrong with during the Prime Day? Can you just highlight a few or one you think is most important?
For me, the biggest mistake about Prime Day is not doing the right math, especially if you are running a deal. When you run a deal and you have a discounted price, you can hurt your margins if the volumes are not getting a very big multiplier. So if when you combine this with PPC that is done right, wrong, or very aggressively, you end up mixing two things that might hurt your profit margins. So if you want to do it, make sure you have the right level of stock. Make sure that you did the math of by increasing your spend, by increasing your overall spend compared to what you might expect in total sales, and taken into consideration your discount, that you will still be profitable, or at least not losing a lot of money.
Okay. Have you already thought about this year's Prime Day as well? I know Amazon, I think, kind of confirmed it's coming. We don't know the dates yet. So is there something special sellers should pay attention to, especially during this year?
Yeah, so exactly. Prime Day is during June. There is no date officially confirmed yet by Amazon. So I don't see anything new compared to previous years. The only thing I see that is slightly different is competition is getting higher. People are using more and more advanced techniques, and because people are using more and more advanced techniques or advanced tools, that is making the competition higher and prices going up, at least for PPC. So my recommendation for this year is if you want to go in to compete for Prime Day sales with PPC, you need to be aggressive and do your math before, because it can end up very costly, and sometimes it's not worth it for products where the margin is not big enough. It can be better to not opt in, either leave your campaign running at the same level, which will be almost equivalent to stopping them, because if everybody is bidding higher than average, you will end up not getting the impressions. This is the mechanism I was saying. So yeah, so the thing about this year is, if you want to go in, do your math before, because competition, I think and I feel, is slightly higher than the year before.
Doing math is always important, especially when we're talking about PPC. But yeah, it's good that you highlighted that. Okay, very nice. So if you would name other holidays in addition to Prime Day, then what are the main ones sellers should usually kind of being prepared in advance?
Yeah, so the main ones are Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Prime Days, the Christmas period, and depending on the category, you have very high season, and depending after. But the main big ones are these three: Christmas, Prime Days, and Black Friday, and Cyber Monday.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much for all the information. I really hope it helps viewers to better prepare for this upcoming Prime Day and also for the future ones. So if anybody has any questions or would like to know more what you and M19 are doing, then what's the best way to reach out to you? And could you once more explain how M19 is helping Amazon sellers?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm reachable by email. So my email is Tarik, Tarik, at m19.com. There are a lot of information about our tool on our website, m19.com. If I have to summarize it, I would say that it's a platform that is AI-based, that is willing to automate and optimize all the Amazon advertising formats. The goal is to increase profit, increase control over your Amazon advertising, and save time. So it's used by sellers directly. Some agencies are using our software to operate for their sellers, or directly some brands, even some corporate brands, are using our software to operate their vendor accounts.
Okay, sounds great. So thanks again and see you soon.
Thanks.
I do hope you learned something new and interesting from this conversation. If you did, don't forget to click the like icon below this video. And also, if you want to learn more about M19, which is a software for automating and optimizing your PPC campaigns, you'll find the link below in the description. And now I would like to invite you to watch full demo of M19 software, which we recorded a while ago with Tarik, and you will find the link here.